All right, guys, welcome back to the shack. And today we're going to be outside for a little bit. As you all know, I've got a few events coming up. I've got the open house at May May's on April the 20th, where Steve and I are going to be there for her open house, doing some selling, meeting people, engraving, that kind of thing. And so also I've got the Peach Jam coming up. That's going to be the first weekend in June. I think it's June the 8th, if I'm not mistaken. And I'll try to put a link down below so you'll know. And I've got to get my portable set up, ready to go. Since the last event that I did, I missed out on the fall events because I was having back surgery and had a lot of problems, so I didn't do any fall events. So this thing's been basically sitting since last Peach Jam. So I've got some new machines, some improved machines that I think I can do a lot better job with, quicker results, a little safer. So I'm going to be upgrading my portable setup and putting in some new equipment. If you want to see what machines have got selected to go into the portable setup for the portable Clack Shack, stick around and we'll be right back. All right, guys, so for those of you that are a fan of the channel and have asked me about the shirts or whatever the case may be, the folks over at This and That Vinyl are now making some Clack Shack hats for me. This is a laser engraved patch. I did not do it, but the ladies at This and That, they have a Glowforge that they use to do laser engraving on patches and stuff, and they did this patch and everything there. So it's a press-on patch, but it is laser engraved here in Chilton County. And like I said, y'all know that I've moved all my stuff over to This and That Vinyl, so they are the only official Clack Shack merch location available. And also, for those of you that didn't like the high cut tees, when I went in to pick the hat up today, when they told me it was ready for the prototype, they told me they've added the V-cut shirts on there as well. And I don't know if they've got all the options on the colors for the hats, but these are the hats that we all use for doing laser engraving, and they've got multiple different ones that you can order, different colors and stuff. But anyway, back to what we started doing. I'm going to show you what's coming off of the portable setup and what's going on it. So, all right, so if any of you have watched the channel for a while, you probably saw me building this thing, putting it together. The portable setup that I run, it has all these cool little features, such as the whole setup is on wheels. And if I can get this camera to cooperate, the camera is on tilt lock. So give me just a minute here, and let me fix that. All right, so now you should be able to see what I'm looking at. All right, so I've got the wheels on the bottom. Of course, you can look. This is the portable setup. A lot of y'all have asked me about it that are recent subscribers. There's the wheels. Those are some heavy, robust wheels under the bottom there. Those are rated for, I want to say like 800 or 900 pounds, but of course this thing doesn't weigh that much. Of course, as always, I have a battery backup that is built into the table right there, all my wiring and stuff. I've got this little Comgrow smoke filter. You know, it takes the edge off for sure. Also underneath there is mounted a Xtool D1 air assist kit is right under there. I'm fixing to tear all of that out and redo it. This is where the Xtool D1 used to sit. There's the air going into the enclosure. This is the enclosure that I've always used at events. It's got the honeycomb in there with my jig kit. I do have the glass on the front and the top with the lights in it, of course. And then I had a window on this side for my observation. And that was just a little makeshift enclosure that I built when I didn't have nothing else. I wanted something to stay on the little portable shack here. I'll walk you around to the other side. I've been doing a little cleaning too because it has some dust on it. But typically, that's kind of what the booth looks like. This has been being over here. The Xtool would be in here doing work. But I donated that to a friend of mine, and he'll be using that for his stuff. So I've got to disassemble my little makeshift enclosure that I built here, and I'm going to be reattaching this guy. This is the Atom Stack A24. It's a little smaller than the Xtool D1 is, but it has everything built into it, automatic air assist, all that good stuff, built-in fan. So I've got to retrofit it into the spot where the X tool used to be. So I got to take the honeycomb and all that out. Disassemble my enclosure, replace it with this guy, and I got a honeycomb for it and everything. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today, and I'll just kind of walk you through the steps once I get everything done and set up, show you what it looks like. I'll also be taking the F1 with me to events to do small stuff. And this is the monitor. So normally I've got my laptop with me that I use when I'm in events. And so anybody that tells you can't run lasers with a laptop, I do it at every event I go to. But there's the monitor. That's where if I'm putting a text on something or whatever, they can look at the screen and see what I'm looking at and know whether that's the text they want. I can use the camera to do photo preview and show them what it's going to look like when I burn it. And I find that that's pretty handy. Also, if I'm not doing any work, if I'm just at an event meeting people, I can throw up a QR code if I don't, not that I don't already have them hanging everywhere, but I can throw a QR code or a website or something up there and let it sit just for advertisement purposes. I also have the lights on here as well as the mirror in the front. This is the trailer, and I'll give you a little tour of the trailer. The trailer's not gonna change. We're not doing anything different in here. I've got one event table here. There's another one that goes down here in the bottom. It's in the house right now. Brandy's been using it for screen printing. A bunch of chairs. That is my original, that is the very first laser I ever purchased. That is my 10-watt X-Tool D1, which I may leave it in here, but being that I'm changing the enclosure out, it's probably going to get gone from there because other than just sentimental value, I have no need for it currently. Lots of chairs, and the reason I have lots of chairs, guys, is because sometimes some of you guys may show up at an event, need a place to sit, so I have extra chairs in the trailer. There's my little pop-up tent right there that I use. I've got two of those. I got one there, and there's another one laying over there. I need to get this guy and put it over there, but when I brought this one back in here, it's been post back surgery, so I just left it laying there. Extension cord, of course, and that's my little event generator that I use. It's a 2,000 watt inverter generator. It charges everything on the shack. There's some of my keychain display and my Christmas tree. I built some shelves here in the back. That's where I keep a lot of my extra stuff. There's the raffle giveaway roller that I made. A bunch of blanks, all kinds of blanks in these little buckets. I've got a set of computer speakers, which I need to also get them out of here to add to the portable shack. I used to use my little DeWalt radio, but I got some new speakers in the shack, and I have passed those out to the portable. So I need to get those out of here and put those in there as well. And of course, guys, never leave home without it. There's my old trusty fan. That comes in handy at these summer events. I could not make it without it. So, but yeah. This is my little box trailer. This was the first major investment I ever made as the Clack Shack. I bought that. The first year I started doing this, I purchased it, and that's what I used to house everything for events and pull them to the events. I do have this cool little man door right here that you can use to access this stuff. That's kind of why everything just lands in front of the door right here. There's the laptop that I use to operate the computers. And I've got to get this shaped up, get it ready for Maymay's, because it'll be here before you know it. And they're a little bit better angle of all the stuff under there. So the first couple of events I did not have a trailer. And guys, unloading and loading all this stuff in and out of the back of a truck was a pain. So that gives you the basic run through of the setup and how I operate it. Like I said, the first few events I did, guys, I was using my lawnmower trailer. I would just roll this on the lawnmower trailer. And I think it was the second event I ever done. I had it set up pretty much just like this, except it had a little roof over top of it. I think it was the second event I ever done. I got caught in a thunder shower on the way to the event, and then it rained basically the entire event. And so I had to leave my stuff at the location that night because I was afraid, because I had everything thrown under tarps and had ropes tied around the tarps to hold them on there. And I was so worried that all my digital stuff was going to get destroyed that night or stolen or whatever because I left it at the venue. But it was like the next event, I was like, you know what? Oh, I've got to start saving for a trailer. Saved up, got enough money to basically pay down half of the value of the trailer. And then, of course, my friends at the local bank spotted me the rest until I could save up a little more money and pay it off. So that was a good investment, though, because it makes life a lot easier if you're going to be doing a lot of events, because you don't have to load and unload every time you go and come, especially if it's a 2-day event. That's a real big pain, having to unload and reload 4 times for one event. So this is something that if you can figure out how to work it in your budget, it definitely is a big help out. So I'm going to get to work, get started on this, and I'll bring you guys back whenever I have succeeded in transferring this over to the new, more modern setup. So let's get to work. All right, guys, so the lighting has got terrible. It took me a minute, but I've got it retrofitted. I'll show you a quick view of it. I'll try to get the camera out in the next week or so and get a little better video when it's not dark. But at least this way you get to see what it looks like when it's dark. So I'm going to walk around and show you. All right, so I'm having to update the laptop and everything that goes with the portable shack. It stays in the trailer, but I got everything mounted. I'm using some little brackets to make sure the machine doesn't move. And I've also came up with a holder to hold the honeycomb in place back there so everything can be jigged using the honeycomb. And I've got the air assist. This does have automatic air. I've got my fans set up on that switch right there, which we'll turn off. I am using the fan in the enclosure as well as the Comgrow smoke eater. I've just got it to where basically I've matched the speed of the fans. This is quite a little setup right here. I got to do better on that, but I didn't have any other pipe, so that's what we're going to rock for now. But here's the front of it as it sits now. Got the TV screen is up now, computer is on. Like I said, it's not decorated right now, guys, but and it's fully sustainable as far as its power, and that's because of the battery backup. So I've got it plugged in with an extension cord right here, but I can unplug that, and everything except for the laser that somebody forgot to plug into the right plug stays on. So I'm gonna move that around, but yeah, there you go. Maybe later, maybe more later, guys. All right, guys. So yeah, it got late. It's like 9:15 now, and it's a weeknight. So I gotta go in the house. But I wanted to try to throw this video together and just show you guys what I'm going into as far as moving from the old setup to the new setup. I think it looks a lot cleaner. Looks a lot better put together. I love the orange see-through all the way around the machine. I think it's going to be a little more eye-catching than what I had before. The other setup, although functional and I hadn't had problems with it, it was safe and everything, it was a little redneck. So this looks a lot cleaner. I did add a USB powered hub underneath the table. It's attached to the bottom of the table. You can't see what's going on underneath the table without me crawling under there, but I've got like basically a little ladder built, similar to what you see in server rooms and stuff, to kind of help transfer the cabling from one place to the other. And I try to keep as much of that cabling and stuff hid as I can. The big silver pipe is kind of bothering me. I thought I had a piece of pipe that was either black or, you know, a little less flashy color. But for now, we're going to be rocking the aluminum foil until I can get something ordered and get it in. It's functional. It works. Between the fan from the enclosure pushing the air out and the fan from the smoke eater pulling it in, it did a really good job. I think it works better than it did on my old setup. I did run a couple of speed tests and everything just to make sure I had everything with the laser hooked up correctly. The only thing that I forgot about doing once I got it put back in the trailer was I did not calibrate the camera on the machine. So that's going to be something I'll probably have to wind up doing when I get to the event if I'm going to use it. But I plan to take the F1 with me as well and just set it on the table where I'm at. Mostly for anodized stuff. I'll probably do most of the wood in there because I have the exhaust hooked to it. But for anodized tags and stuff like that, or maybe just a little quick burn, I can still use the F1 at the events also. I typically am set up outdoors, so more or less, I just don't want to be blowing just pure smoke out, you know, around other vendors. But everybody, I always work with whoever I'm at, the venue, to get kind of on the end or somewhere to where, you know, the wind's not blowing the smoke in people's face. So that shouldn't be a big issue. Most of the stuff with the way that I've got it set up, I can do most anything I want to do with the machine as far as jigging stuff out. Having that honeycomb trap like that so that I can reference off that bottom left corner is going to make life a lot easier for me. So yeah, cheap, economical little setup for events. I like the machine. It's not that heavy. Like I said, smaller work area, but that just means smaller footprint, more table space for me to use for other things. It's a 24 watt. I have been using the Xtool D1 20 watt, so I didn't lose any power or anything for doing anodization and stuff like that on the scene. So I think it's going to work out good, and I'll let you guys know post Peach Jam how well it works. But coupled with the F1, I have no worries. But I'll try to drop some links down in the description below, guys. Like I said, the hats, they've just started carrying those at This and That Vinyl. May's event will be Saturday, and I've let Bugs in the shop because I had the door open. May's event will be Saturday, April the 20th. Steve over at Vintage Workshop and I both plan to be there. And then we've got the Peach Jam coming up June the 7th and 8th. I'll only be set up as a vendor on the 8th. They're having some other stuff on the 7th that you might be interested in if you're in the area. But the 8th, they're going to have the big name band there. All the vendors will be there. And I plan to be set up for it on the 8th. So you can come out, check out the booth, stop in, speak to us, or speak to us this weekend. And then on Peach Jam, it'll just be me. And I think Klein plans on being there. So he's going to try to come and help. And I'm going to train him up on how to work events, hopefully. At least teach him some bad habits, if nothing else. But if you're interested in any of the stuff in the video, guys, like I said, I'll drop a link for the A24 down below. If it's something you've been looking at, you're interested in one, you can use that link. As well as some of the other stuff as I get a chance. But it's late. Try to get this video out and go get some sleep. So some of the links may not be there until tomorrow. We'll see how long it takes. But until next time, guys, be safe and have a good day.